Got some new information here on Flight 17. We've all seen this guy right here. He was said to have been killed on Flight 17 that went down in Ukraine. Now, for people that think that that was Flight 370, you still have a missing plane. And this is pretty much a miracle, you know. They weren't expecting someone to probably take the shot of the plane right before they boarded it, joking about, you know, Flight 370. But it showed proof that these people boarded a different plane. I showed this in a different video. For those of you that haven't seen Monty's three ghost planes video, something like that, it breaks it down well. He goes through the log of where this plane right here that you see was, and it was in Malaysia. Landed, I believe, on the 16th and departed from Malaysia on the 18th. Nowhere in that log does it show that it was in Amsterdam on the 17th whatsoever. So the question is, how did this guy get this photo of RC in Amsterdam? Well, we said, well, this is a miracle. It's pretty good evidence, but man, we would be really lucky if we could find a second photo. That would put the nail in the coffin. It would. What, are you going to tell me two people got it wrong and photographed the wrong plane and they're playing it off as MH17? I don't think so. Guess what? We have got, thanks to Reuters and their agent, which I'm about to show you here in a second, this plane, this photo, which has been passed off in the mainstream media as the same photo, is different. You will see the shadow is different, and it shows that two different people took it. Indeed, it was taken from two different angles, same plane, RC. See how the shadow is wider? This is not the lone picture. You want to know why? Because Reuters has exposed themselves. If you guys thought having that guy from CNN inside the cockpit of Flight 370 interviewing the pilot and everyone else just week before it went missing was suspicious, you're going to think of this the exact same way. Because guess what? Reuters just so happened, out of every airport on the planet, they had an agent that's from Israel that many thought was the former defense minister's son, but it's not. He may be related, but he's not his son. This guy from Reuters just so happens to be in this airport taking photos of this exact same plane. And he posted it under his name, under Reuters. So, there's your confirmation. Game over. There's no more questioning. Number one, the logs have shown this plane should have never even been in Amsterdam. Number two, we now have bombshell confirmation that this was the same plane, the wrong plane that these people boarded, and also confirmation that it was in Amsterdam, because this is where this Yaron Mofaz is saying he took it. And third, Reuters exposing themselves, having an agent on the ground snapping shots of this plane right before it takes off. Oh yeah, they needed that cover piece photo. They never expected this guy to pop off a Facebook shot of it. But it's huge, because if we've already caught them in the mainstream media trying to pass the photo off as one and the same, and they're different, you can tell just by the shadow. It's the same plane, roughly the same time, just from slightly different angles out the window. See? And I can't help but wonder how close this Yaron Mofaz actually was, and if he laid eyes on Corpan. Where these people went, I don't know, guys. But I tell you this much, it looks more and more like a plane that should have never been there was there, because now we have confirmation from a second photo from Reuters, which exposes themselves in the process from a plane that should have never been there. It looks like these people boarded this plane. This was never logged, and this MRD was filled with what I believe to be dead bodies. People that were dead, for the most part, from what evidence we have so far. And blown up in a staged event over Ukraine. What happened to the rest of these people, I have no idea. But once again, for those that think it was Flight 370, you still have a missing plane. And this is bombshell proof. I don't know, this is game changing. This implicates Reuters just like it did CNN in Flight 370. It shows confirmation these people boarded a different flight, RC, and that flight should have never even been there. Monograph burned that up. So, until another plane comes crashing down out of the sky, or we get some more information, because this isn't over. This has been Taboo 7. Eyes open.